According to Jack Snyder, strategic culture is defined as a set of general beliefs, attitudes, behavior patterns with regard to nuclear strategy that has achieved a state of semi-permanence that places them on the level of cultural more than policy. The sources that affect each country's strategic culture are geography, climate, history, and experience, which causes each country to be classified as weak to strong, post-colonial to colonial, and etc. There are several examples of strategic culture, such as open war strategy and guerrilla strategy. Now, let's see the examples. One of the examples of the strategic culture is the open war strategy. The open war strategy is usually applied by the Western countries. The Netherlands, as an example, is a country that has been applying open war strategy on Indonesia. As we can see, the Netherlands are trying to apply the open war strategy on Indonesia, whereas Indonesia and Netherlands have different culture. As a result, the Indonesia was defeated because of the different culture on the strategic culture, which is the open war strategy. To defeat the Netherlands, the Indonesian armed civilians are now preparing their strategy, which is the guerrilla strategy, to attack the Netherlands. Using the forest, Indonesian people are going to hide and prepare a sudden attack on the Netherlands. Another example of the strategic culture is the guerrilla strategy. The guerrilla strategy is a strategy that is used by the Indonesian people on attacking the Netherlands people. As you can see, the guerrilla strategy is a strategy that is used by the small units of armed civilians attacking the opponent's center of gravity. As a result, the Netherlands was defeated because the armed civilians of the Indonesian people attacked the Netherlands' center of gravity.
There was a large gap in literature using primary works from their primary strategist, and the methodology had not been applied to non-state actor on a consistent basis over the past several years, so it's a shot I want to take. I did a lot of research on, again, their primary strategist and their influences. Basically, what were the conditions, the influences, determinants to their strategic framework, what accounted for their strategic rationality. And what I found was there was a lot of historical, theological, and psychological places where their thoughts converged, a lot of unstated assumptions that they make when in their decision-making processes.
With your thesis?
Absolutely, and I think that goes to the homegrown radical threat. Part of strategic culture is, well, in general, it's defined as the shared set of beliefs, assumptions, and modes and behavior of a group that determines specific ways and means to go about, securing their objects of security. So, from that perspective, I think what's unique about the Al-Qaeda movement is it's global, obviously, and so a lot of the factors that normally will account or come into play for nation states are not there. So, from a domestic standpoint, I think again the homegrown radicals and then immigrants who pursue the radical Muslim agenda, this thesis will be applicable to analyzing them. One of the other gaps in literature that I found was a lack of red cell approaches. We often accuse ourselves of a lack of imagination and anticipating how our enemy might leverage their unique ways and means to attack us. So I took these characteristics and put them into a red cell strategy and entitled that section of the final chapter called How to Fight the United States.
I think
So the conclusion is strategic culture is affected with many sources such as climate, geography, history, and experience, which affects the culture today. Those sources evolve and have adapted to a more modest goal and produce an understanding between culture and state building. From this video, Indonesia has a strategic culture of using the guerrilla war because Indonesia has rainforests, so they use it for hiding from the enemy. While on the other side, the Western countries, which has become the industrial countries, causing they to have many open areas, so the best strategy for them is the open war strategy.